boys and girls. Today is April 16, 2020. Today is Thursday, and our week is almost over. How exciting! Boys and girls, your word of the day is portage. Portage is the carrying of a boat or its cargo between two navigable waters. It is also a place where carrying a boat is necessary. Our sentence for today is our canoe trip required portage from the river into the larger lake. Okay, so that's your two bodies of water right there. Okay, boys and girls, what are you going to be doing today? Today you're going to be reading Shipwreck Season. Actually, I'm going to play a video on this on your next one. On your next video, you're going to see it. So this is video 1. In the next video, you're going to see Shipwreck Season. I want you to answer the following questions. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is, let me go ahead and read what you guys have to do. Look back at the unsinkable wreck of the Titanic. Okay, so you're going to go back to that Titanic reading that we did yesterday and the shipwreck season. And you're going to make a list of potential dangers that you can see at the sea. I want you to provide evidence from both texts. And I want you to even write a list of safety tips for people who are planning on taking an ocean voyage. Base your tips on your list of dangers. Okay? So that's the first thing you're going to be doing. So go back and reread the unsinkable wreck of the Titanic and read Shipwreck Season, which you're going to see in the next video. Then you're going to complete the Let's Practice on page 257 and 261 on your Readers and Writers Notebook, which is in your Pearson, boys and girls. You're going to complete an activity on Vocabulary Spelling City. And you're going to choose a writing prompt from the April menu. Okay, so I believe that by this time, everybody should be almost done with their I Ready minutes. So make sure you look at those assigned lessons, okay? And make sure you pass them, boys and girls, because that's going to be a grade, okay? So please make sure you try your best. For today, you will need a computer. You're going to need your Pearson username and password. You're going to need your Vocabulary Spelling City username and password. And your login for Studies Weeklies, because that's our next activity that we have to do. You're going to log in to Social Studies, to Studies Weeklies, and you're going to be doing you're going to be reading Packing Up, and you're going to be answering the comprehension questions and then play the crossword puzzle game. I want to go over the questions from yesterday, the day 2 questions for yesterday, and here we go. How well do the photographs or pictures and captions support the author's opinion that the Titanic was the greatest shipwreck of all the time? Well, the photograph and captions show how big the Titanic was and how it sank. The reader can conclude that thousands of lives must have been lost, making the wreck a great tragedy. Yes, it was a tragedy. How does the writer create both a sense of fear, oh my God, and a feeling of how swift the event was? Well, words like tragedy, pandemonium, and dead, like those on page 209, create the sense of fear. Then you have, how can you tell which happened first? The pilot set Alvin down on the bridge of the Titanic, or First Officer William Murdoch yelled, "Hard a starboard." Well, we know the Titanic sank long ago, so I'm going to assume that the officer yelled long before the author went exploring in Alvin. Number 4 says, use the information in the side story on page 2 to make an inference about the officer who held Willie back. Well, remember that the reason why he held him back was because he looked kind of old, right? So, but remember, they were in a distress mode. I mean, they were in a lot of tension. So that's why he got confused that Willie was a boy. He thought it was a man. That's why he got confused about it, okay? Because he really thought that Willie was an old man. He was such a young man. He was just tall and very serious. What have you learned in this story about the technology used to explore the Titanic? Well, I've learned that the Alvin can dive very deep in the water, right? Because it says in the text that 2.5 miles down, that it actually went 2.5 miles down. And it also has a robotic eye, which can see places that it can or cannot go. Okay? I hope this helped you answer some of your questions for your day 2 questions, boys and girls. Now I invite you to go and see the next video. Again, boys and girls, you know I am here. If you need me for anything, email me. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.